Welcome, Drink with James, episode 29. So, I am sure everyone just got back from Thanksgiving. I came back feeling very excited about what you all do. Let me tell you why. I am one of those assholes that doesn't have a television. I haven't had a TV in my apartment. I haven't owned a TV in 10 years, I think. So obviously I don't watch a huge amount of television. I've seen Game of Thrones and like Stranger Things. But what I haven't seen in so many years is advertisements, commercials. So I was at my brother's house in Virginia. He's got a 65-inch TV. Football was on. He's got a little daughter. Cartoons were on. And I was just blown away with how bad advertising is. It is just like this squawking, high-pitched squawking at you to buy something that is, it's like nails on a chalkboard. And then I look at what y'all do, which is, essentially y'all are advertisers, right? You're selling things. You're selling makeup, or you're selling a lifestyle, or you're selling clothes, or you're selling cars. Whatever it is that you talk about, you're selling stuff. If you don't realize that's what you do, then I think you're probably in the wrong line of work. You're advertising for brands. That is how you're making money. You do it so much better than television commercials, and I find myself feeling excited about the future of influencers. This is going to be a huge year, 2017, and hopefully we're all going to learn some things. So let's go on to some questions. Brand sends you something. Maybe they don't have budget. Maybe they do. Maybe the thing's worth $1,000. You do the post. Maybe you don't really want the thing, right? I see a lot of influencers, they're selling on their Depop shops or whatever it's called, I think it's generally okay. My one caveat would be that I would wait until after that season to sell it. I think if a brand sends you something and you post it and then a week later it's in your online shop to sell it, then it's pretty clear that you didn't really like it. And so then one, why are you doing the post? Two, it's a pretty big slap in the face of the brand. And your audience is going to be like, wait, you just posted about how great this is, how this is your essential down winter jacket that you love so much, but why are you selling it a week later? So if you're going to sell the clothes that got gifted to you, I would wait 1 or 2 seasons to do so. A lot of the stuff that y'all are getting it should last more than a few seasons. It should hold its value beyond a few seasons. Think about it as a brand, from a brand perspective. If you send someone something and a week later you see that they're selling it, you're gonna get pretty pissed off. And I think if the brand sees you're selling something that they sent you within a month of sending it to you, I would be very surprised if you worked with them again. Yeah, there's the argument of well, they didn't pay me, I should be able to sell it. I just think it's a respect thing. I think that that could be true, but you're also getting some beautiful piece of clothing or shoes for free, and hopefully you want to wear it, and hopefully you want to have it be a part of your wardrobe. And if you really don't want it, I would encourage you to send it back to the brand. If you aren't going to post about it and you have no intention of keeping it, I really would encourage you to send it back to the brand, because I think it's really poor form to sell things that are sent your way just because. What are brands looking for on Fohr when they look for influencers? Again, I told you I was excited because advertising is so shitty and what you guys do is so awesome. I'm also really excited about 2017 because the things brands are looking for are changing every day, and they're changing really quickly. It used to just be reach. They want big people, they want big followings, they want big numbers, they want to work with top influencers, and that's all they care about. That is 100% changing every day. We do more and more campaigns with smaller influencers. I don't like to call them micro influencers because it's just in what world is 25,000 people following you micro? Also, it's just kind of lame, so we don't use that term. But emerging influencers, brands love it. From large, huge global brands to smaller luxury brands. It's something we're seeing more and more of. So I think the best thing you can do is be unique. Have a unique offering that is different that separates you from the crowd. Of course, as I said, I'm excited about the future of this whole industry, but it is getting crowded. There's a lot of really talented people coming in and doing things. A lot of them are doing the same thing. You look at landscape Instagram photography, right? A lot of it's the same. Moody mountains, bridges, people standing in the middle of a fucking road in the Pacific Northwest. Like, you see this stuff over and over again. So like, think about how you can differentiate, continue to try and put your personality into your feed, because as we've said again and again, you have to be more than an impression. You can't just be a follower count. You have to be a person that brand wants to work with, who is different from the other 10 people that they can work with. Yeah, so if you look at the kind of ways you could judge someone, their following, their engagement, how the image quality, their unique take or viewpoint, and which one brands are most often interested in, I think the frustrating answer is the answer is becoming like yes, all of them. Because 200,000 followers with good engagement but no unique take isn't enough. A really unique view with 1,000 followers and great engagement isn't enough. 20,000 followers but no engagement isn't enough. So like it has to be balanced, and it has to all make sense together in one cohesive package. And more that's becoming really important. I think we've talked about press a few times in the show before. In some ways it can be really valuable for influencers. In some ways it's what in the startup world we call vanity metric, where like you have this thing that feels really good, like, oh, I got onto a Vogue.com slideshow of best street style, but like, does that affect your business? I don't know. Maybe not. We had Laurel on the show last week, and she talked about street style, and I think in her world of editors and kind of like the more old school fashion world, street style is very important. But is being on Vogue super important for your career? I would say probably not. Fohr been in a number of publications, and my parents were proud every single time. But it's funny, the ones that move the needle and the ones that don't. We were in Harper's Bazaar, didn't do a huge amount for us. We got on, and then we had an article on Racked, and it was huge. We had 100 people email us for trials. So not all press is created equal, and it's okay to want that vanity metric. It's okay to want to be in Vogue. Like, I know a lot of influencers, but that is an ultimate goal of theirs, and like, I am 100% get that, and I'm supportive of that, and that totally makes sense. But if you want to be proactive about getting press, there's a few things to remember. One, relationships, right? Like, you have to know these people. So find people that you like at the publication who write articles that are in the sphere of what you're interested in or what you talk about. Get to know those people if you can. The second is you have to pitch them a good idea. You can't just sit back and think Vogue is going to find you. You have to come with an angle. Every time, I'll give you a quick story. Fohr launched a little over 4 years ago. We wanted Women's Wear Daily to write the piece on us. So I found this woman, Rachel Strugitz, who worked at Women's Wear. I got an introduction to her from a friend of mine. So I had the relationship taken care of then. And then I came to her and said, hey, influencers, bloggers, this is a thing. There's more and more brands that want to work with bloggers. This is going to be a big industry. We're creating a technology platform to help these brands find these bloggers. And I think you could do a piece about the larger trend of bloggers becoming more important in the fashion industry. And we could be in that piece as a part of it. And that made sense, right? So as an influencer, you can't go to a publication and say, like, write an article on me. I'm so interesting. But you can say, like, hey, I know 4 or 5 of my people I know on Instagram, and we're all, let's say we're like modesty bloggers. Like, we are Muslim women, and we are fashion bloggers, and we dress in traditional Muslim outfits. Like, I think you should write a story on that. That makes sense, right? That's a larger piece. It's timely because that's kind of, Muslim-American relations are in the in the news right now. It makes sense as a larger piece. It's not just, hey, I have a blog, it's interesting. So like if you're launching a clothing line, right? That could be interesting on its own, but maybe you find 4 other people who are also launching clothing lines that are bloggers, and then you go to the publication and you say, hey, let's do a piece on bloggers launching clothing lines. I have 4 people lined up for you. You've done the work for the reporter. You've done the hard work for them. You say, this is a trend, this is a thing that's happening, this is why it's important. I am a part of that larger picture, but I am not the whole thing. There will be a time, hopefully in your careers, where you will be, I don't want to say worthy, but I'm just going to say worthy of a piece just about you, but that's a long way down the road. You have to be at the very, 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 very top of the industry to get a piece just on you. So think about the larger trends. Think about how you could take what you're doing and find 10 other people who are doing similar things and group it into a story and find the right reporter and send that to them, and that's the way you'll get press. So, episode 29 is in the books. We're done. And I am off to Art Basel this week. So if you follow me on Instagram, which I know you guys do, thank you. We are going down to Art Basel with NetJets and the Four Seasons, which I can't actually say without laughing because it's so ridiculous. But we're super excited. So if you follow me, myself, on Fohr, I'll be posting a bit on Fohr as well. We'll post the influencers that are going. You should follow around. We're riding on some ridiculous, amazing jet. So cheers to that.